Yo, what's going on, guys? K7 here, and today we're back with another video, and this time we got a nice little Kenshi guide. If you guys don't know me, I'm one of the best Kenshi players out on Mortal Kombat 1, and I even managed to win in a really early tournament, Mortal Kombat NJ, or MKNJ for short. I thought you guys wanted to see a Kenshi guide because I had a sub go on my stream, and you guys pretty much just smashed it to, you guys went crazy. But you want it, here it is, and let's get into it. So, this is a question I got when I was first asked to do this guide is pretty much, how do you start playing this character, or what's important to know when you start playing Kenshi? My answer to this is that there are 3 different stances that this character has. And I'll explain. I know a lot of you think it's 2, which you wouldn't be wrong by saying it's 2, but it is 3. So you have to learn how to play Kenshi without his sword out. This is round start Kenshi when he doesn't have, sword out or anything. You have to learn how to play him like this. You have to learn how to play him when the sword is out and you have Sento stance, or you have Sento with you. And you also have to learn how to play with him when Sento is not available. So let's act like Sento is not on the screen and I don't have Sento available to me at all. I still have to know what I can do with my character without the clone at all. So these are the 3 different stances or forms, if you will, of Kenshi that you must learn how to play. Okay, so starting off, we're going to talk about his most notable buttons. These are the buttons that you're typically going to be using for most of your time playing Kenshi in the round start stance, which is his hit confirmable 1-4-1 string. It launches, and every single hit is special cancelable, so you can hit confirm and launch your opponent. You could also keep yourself safe if your opponent happens to block it. You can spend a meter by using EX push, which is his enhanced backboard 4. But this is one of your best strings that you could use in base form Kenshi, I'll call it. More notable strings is his 4-2-2 string. It's a hit confirmable mid. So you do the 4-2-2 up close pressure, or if you're trying to take your turn back or something, or a neutral, and you can hit confirm and hopefully get Sento out by using your cameo. A sleeper mid that you guys definitely should be using is his back 2. Back 2 12 frame startup. It's a really good range mid. It's really good for punishes, and it only has 1 hit, so you do have to single hit confirm it or use it as a whip punishing tool. This is really just one of the best ways that you can use Kenshi's base form. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about Sento stance Kenshi without Sento. We're going to call this sword Kenshi. So he has a stand 1-2 string, which is hit confirmable into a launcher if you manage to get the hit, and it's a 1-2-2 string, and it ends high mid mid. It's safe on block, so you can safely end your strings with that. It's pretty much your jab confirm. You want to go for that pretty much always. The next string we're going to talk about is his back 1-2 string. It's low mid. It starts with 13 frame low, and it launches on hit, but it is unsafe on block, so keep that in mind. You can't just really throw it out against opponents who are willing to sit there and be patient and block. He actually does have another string that's not listed here, which I use all the time. I think this is one of his best strings. It's his forward 1 string when he's sword Kenshi. It's 11 frame startup high. It goes really far, and it's really fast. 11 frame high that goes this far is very, very good. But it's forward 1-1, and it's forward 1-1 hit confirmable, and forward 1-1-2. It ends in an overhead, which is safe on block. So this is pretty much one of the best strings you can go for when you're playing in neutral with sword Kenshi. So you could just never go wrong. He has 11 frame high. You just hit confirmable launch. It's great. You want to be using that as much as you can when you're caught without Sento. It's pretty much your safest option. Another really good string that he has when Sento is down is his forward 2 string. So it's 11 frames, just like the forward 1, but this one's mid this time, and it's mid low. The low ender is not safe on block, so keep that in mind when pressuring your opponent. But the mid does have quite a bit of range on it, so just you don't have to be point blank on your opponent to use it. The mid does go fairly far, so just understand the range of it when you're using it. That's pretty much all the notable strings for Kenshi that you want to be using while you're caught without Sento. He does have other strings in it, but they're not that useful. I find you need Sento to make his other strings work. So this is just sword Kenshi that we're talking about. All right, so really quickly, we're going to talk about Sento. Now we can ignore Kenshi here. I'm just going to be talking about only Sento. Starting off, we have Sento stand 1, which is a fast high attack that pretty much just It's just a fast high attack. It's pretty good for combos. I don't really use it too much for pressure, but combos it is useful for. Sento 2 This is the bread and butter. We're going to be using this for our combos and our pressure. It's a double hitting mid attack. It does have a gap in it where your opponent can armor through it. So if you're not covering the gap when you're pressuring your opponent, you can get armored through on that attack. Sento 3 is a mid. It is a launcher. So if you manage to hit your opponent with Kenshi and then you press Sento stand 3, Sento will give you a launcher. And last but not least, we have Sento 4, which is a 3-hit attack starting off in a high, which has a gap between the second and third hit that the opponent can jab through to get rid of Sento. So if you're not pressuring your opponent with Kenshi, they can get out of the pressure that way. You also get access to a move called Spirit Alignment, which is the down back 2. This is a special move to where if wherever Kenshi is standing, if you press down back 2 with Sento active, you must have Sento available. You will call Sento to your side. It doesn't matter where Sento is. He could be completely on the other side of the screen. If you press down back 2, he'll appear on your screen. And if you amplify it, you'll reset the timer of Sento being out. So Sento usually is out for roughly 10 seconds. Whenever the timer is about to go out, you can pretty much just call him back and reset the timer to keep Sento out for longer. This is good for combo setups. I guess Oki situations where you're about to, you don't have enough damage to kill your opponent. So instead of just going for a combo ender, that would have otherwise gotten rid of Sento, you could sacrifice a little bit of damage to reset and get Sento back again. Now we're going to talk about his down back 4, which is called takedown. This here, down back 4, it gives us a sandwich situation, which is what we're trying to go for. This is our bread and butter. This is our goal when we're playing as Kenshi in sword stance. We want to make sure that we're on one side and we want Sento on the other. This is the best way to play sword stance Kenshi, and it's what we're looking for every time we touch our opponent, or anytime we're playing a neutral against our opponent. And if you EX the takedown move, you'll throw the sword. It is a long range mid attack, and you'll get Sento to do this nice little 6-hit combo, which grants us 18% damage. So this is pretty much, it's good for combo enders. It's your highest damage combo ender, but it does not give us the sandwich, which, like I said, we want the sandwich. So if it's not gonna kill, I wouldn't recommend using the amplified version of down back 4. All right, so we're gonna talk about his special moves. So we have his down back 2, which has 3 different versions. It has a close version, a mid version, and a far version, all of which are overheads. If you do manage to amplify it, you will launch your opponent on hit, and it is relatively punishable on block. So some characters like Johnny Cage, if they block it, they can use their long range attacks to punish you, such as Johnny Cage's Shadow Kick. Next move we have is his Soul Charge. This is his Armored Wake Up. So if you do this, it will have 1 hit of armor. It is on the slower end, so you can get hit by multi-hitting Wake Up attacks. So just be careful when using it or overusing it, because it also is punishable on block if they don't break your armor. And we also have his Soul Push, which can be charged, and if it is charged enough, it will become plus on block. So if you just sit there, charge and hold it, you're +9. Even if you're up close in your opponent's face, it does have quite a bit of pushback, so you'll be +9, pretty far away from your opponent. If left uncharged, it is punishable on block, so keep that in mind. You can amplify it, however, to keep yourself safe. You'll be -1 on that. So if you do any block string that would have been unsafe otherwise, and you spend the bar to keep yourself safe with Soul Push, you'll be just fine. So we have Ancestral Charge is another special move that he has, which Kenshi goes into this little run, and it actually destroys all projectiles on the screen if they are about to hit you while you're running. I don't use this move too often. I only use it against some characters who can actually outzone me. Also, I typically play Kenshi with the Sub-Zero assist, so I'll just pretty much throw the ice armor on whenever I'm getting zoned out. I don't really have too much use for this move anyway. And lastly, he has his down back 1, Sento stance. So down back 1 will pull out Sento stance, and this is where we are changing stances. So this will be a completely new move set, and we also have a puppet to control.